Hello and welcome back to Jokkmokk. In this video I'm going to talk about how I'm working with the dogs, how I do with my sled dogs to make sure that they have a good life out here on the trail, how do I treat them, what is important to do with them and so on. I'm also going to talk a little bit about what is the biggest risk and what is the hardest part for the dogs. My name is Matti. I'm working as a dog musher and nature guide up in northern Sweden. Outdoor life and dog sledding is actually a big part of my daily life. I do it together with my partner Stina, and together we run a small guide company called Jokkmokkguiderna. Right now I'm also on my way from Jokkmokk up to Saltelukta together with 4 guests and 28 dogs. We have 220 kilometer trail in front of us, and right now, blue sky, perfect weather, is just brilliant weather. But it will change maybe. We're coming closer and closer to the mountain, and the trail is fantastic. You're talking about driving a dog team, but what you actually do is you're driving a team of different individuals. Each individual have different needs, and you should take care of that. This one is Gandalf. He's a really nice leader dog, but he's really a special one. Here we got Jesse. Jesse is a guy with not so good hair. If he stay out a lot, he lose a lot of weight. So what I do for saving him or saving his energy level is to put the jacket on him more or less directly when I arrive. Jesse right now, he's coming into the cabin now and then because he need to be more protected from the cold. Other dogs could come into the cabin because they need more contact with us. They need more close contact. And you had to know your dog, and you had to know what does that dog need right now. The need is maybe not exactly the same next week as it is this week. So you had to know your dogs. Here we have Kjelle, also a very nice guy. He moved to some friends to us and lived with them for many years, but when they quit with dog sleds, we got him back. And Kjelle is a very, very nice guy. A little bit screamy in the team, but otherwise very easygoing. Hey Kjelle! Yep. And when we're talking about knowing your dogs, it's actually one of the reasons why we don't have employees. We work with our own dogs that we know, and these dogs are close to us. We know when they have issues, we can see it on them if there is something that's wrong. We can see it in the eyes very often. So as you see, when you travel around with 28 dogs, as we're doing right now, there is a lot of different individuals. These dogs need different treatment. It's really good to treat each one of them as an individual, a little bit special. Bring them inside the house, inside the cabin now and then, because that's building a special you're bounding with the dog in a different way then, and that's super important. Now I think I'm going into the cabin because I need special treatment. I need a cup of coffee. So yesterday I had a kind of really tough evening. I felt so bad, tired, I want to throw up, and it was not good at all. And that was 3 days after I was in civilization. So, you know, civilization is not good for wilderness guys as me. It's really unhealthy. So probably my body was fighting some kind of virus, or I have no idea. Anyway, today I'm much better and I actually can eat again, so that's lovely. Out here, I can't call to my boss, Stina, and said, hey, I want to have a day off now, I'm ill. Because, yeah, I'm in the middle of the tour. What shall I do? Just keep the feet down, head up, and keep going. That's the bad thing with this work, actually. So when I'm talking about taking care of the dogs, I would never treat a dog as I treat myself. Really. That's interesting, isn't it? So, anyway, new weather, new day, snowy, different situation. Today it will be warm. It is more hard for the dogs to pull the sleds, and it will be a slow, nice day today. We're heading towards Orrenjärka. We will have a shower, dinner in the restaurant, and all that nice stuff. Maybe a cold beer also in the restaurant, together with the dinner. So now, enjoy the trail.
Is it you?
Yes. Y.
There you go. Hope you can enjoy that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Arctic shower.
Oh ja, es ist wirklich.
Now today I brought Jesse inside, and he was tired during the last part of the tour today. And that's typical for him. He worked a little bit too hard and eat a little bit too little. And yeah, so he also have less hair than the other ones, so he need to be taken care of a little bit extra. And now I need my hours of sleep, so see you tomorrow, guys. Ciao. New day, a lot of fresh snow, and we just left Orrenjärka. It's super beautiful. I always say it's super beautiful. Luckily there have been some snowmobiles on the trail just in front of us, so we don't need to break the trail. I think it's 20-25 centimeter fresh snow right now. The topic today will be dog food and feeding routines. When we're feeding the dogs out here, it's very much a question about what will the dog eat and when will they eat it. We give breakfast, snacks and dinner on this tour. Some tours I just give breakfast and dinner. At least we have the problem with our bloodlines or our dogs that the appetite is not the top thing with our dogs. We have good leader dogs, we have good other things, but the appetite is not always the best. So when I'm feeding the dogs, one of the most important things is that they actually take the food. So I have figured out that the best way for me in the morning or for my dogs is that I give them frozen meat, or like today when the meat was melted. And if you add meat to your dog food, it should be balanced with vitamin, calcium, phosphorus and all that things. But that's another video. So our morning routines starts with 250 gram meat to each dog. And most of them are taking the meat, but there is of course someone who's not like to take the meat.
But to be honest, now I'm afraid of the last day because you said this will be like the worst one.
Yeah, but so what I actually have done now is that I have given this royal, it's called marathon, it's a different kind of food, super expensive, and I bring like one bag of this for each week more or less. If you open these pellets, you see it's like a fat thing inside the pellet. The dog like them very much, or at least most of the dogs like them very much, and I snack them with this. When they're running, they're snapping so much snow, so they get water anyway, and then I snack them with some of this. So that's how I do this week. Last week I wasn't doing this, and I changed a little bit from week to week, but I think giving this as snacks have been quite good. When we arrive at the cabin, we start heating up water inside the cabin. This water should be hand warm, not too hot, not too cold. When we're feeding the dogs, we give them the dry pellets, and then we add some meat to that. The meat is more for giving them some kind of flavor, so they eat a little bit better. Each dog gets one bowl. Some of the dogs eat it directly from the bowl, but some also flip it out and eat it from the ground, because I don't like the water. I think it's good if the dogs get the water, so I prefer to really try to make them taking the water, but that's not always easy. If one dog don't finish their food, we usually take that food and give it to someone else. It's important to registrate which dog have eaten and which dog haven't eaten. Some take more breakfast, some take more snacks during lunch or when you arrive to the cabin, and some waiting for the main meal. And some of them, of course, eating everything. But we also have dogs that eat really bad. This can, of course, change from one week to another or from one day to another. But it's important work to look after the dog, check if they're fat or skinny, and see how the appetite is. So right now I'm on my way to bring 3 dogs inside. I will take Fenjan inside. That's her. She know what's going on here. Fenjan is already on her way, and then we're going to take Sofia, and of course I'm going to take Stanna. So then I'm going to take Jesse. But Jesse I had to take in a leash. I have it here. So, and I bring leash for the other ones too. So the 2 girls, Fenja and Felisan, they just went straight into the cabin, up to the cabin. So Jesse is also kind of decided what he wants. Here is Jesse on his way to the cabin. And here, see,
weather is fine. Is there like a possibility to like do some more snowshoe walking?
Yeah.
That this
And then there is another thing we have to talk about, and that's the feet of the dog. No feet, no sled dog, is that what we usually say. You had really to check the feet, see if there is some issues with them and take care of it, treat the issues. If you're driving a lot of sled dogs out here on the trail, different snow conditions, you will get issues, different kind of issues. So actually sometimes when you have coffee break you have to put a new shoe on them, or sometimes they lose a shoe while driving, or they step into the water and the shoe is full of ice, so then you had to change booty. Nelson! Yeah, now we go. We have started out now and left Porter cabin and we are on the way up to Akse now. So we're doing fine. One more time this winter we passing by gate into Sarek, and it is amazing, it is beautiful. I can see that too. But maybe I've seen it too many times, I don't know. It's actually true. After a while you get too used with beautiful views like this. So maybe it's more wow the first time you see it. I don't remember. You wasn't born when I saw this the first time, probably. Anyway, it's beautiful. We coming closer and closer to Akse, and we will have coffee maybe again. We had a fun coffee break on the trail. 3 skiers came and stopped and had coffee with us. I should have filmed that, of course, but I didn't. The dogs can actually have several different kind of problem with their feet. One, like Klaus have on his front feet, is that he have a crack on the toe, on the skin, a small crack, and they are kind of painful for them. And the only thing you can do is to put some cream, grease on it, and you protect it with a booty. So as you see here in front of my thumb, Stana, he have one of these cracks, and that crack have start healing now. So that one looks really good. So on the front feet he had the crack on the toe. I see out here on the trail that if I treat them well, they heal during a week or during 2 weeks, something like that. So I can actually treat these cracks on the trail. Another type of crack the dogs can get is between the toes. You have to open up the foot, and Klaus have it, of course, on his back feet. That kind of cracks, you don't see them if you not open up the feet. They're usually not bleeding. They are also very painful for the dog. So you had actually to open the foot and check inside the foot, is there any issue there. Also this one have start healing on that foot, and now we check the other one. Here. Yeah. So also his back feet are healed. So tomorrow I will not use shoes on his back feet, probably. Klaus had kind of not nice cracks 1 week ago, so he had been healed in 1 week. Very good. Even these cracks are possible to treat out here, and they heal quite fast if you treat them with a kind of cream and a booty, of course. Don't run the dog without booties. They get these cracks, different types of cracks, because of different type of snow situation. They get them from the cold. Like I also have cracks on my fingers, and they, you know, they are also kind of painful. And what I do here, I have a crack on my finger, so I put cream and I put a tape to keep a good environmental for healing. So you had to look after this. Later in the spring, you get different kind of problem when the snow turns more icy and it starts blowing a little bit. The cracks they get between the toes comes from, I think they come from snowballs that they collect when they're running in cold snow. And of course, I wanted to show you the type of cream I use, and I lost it. I have an extra one inside. Now we're looking at Aya, and that's another thing. You had to cut the nail of the dogs regular. The nail shouldn't be too long. If the nails are too long, they can break the nail very easily, and it's not good. Cut the nail, keep them well maintained, and it's very easy to cut. Aya is a kind of young dog, and I show you how I do now when I cut. Maybe this is another video, just how to cut the nails. So I like to use one of these nail cutter. It's very good to use a lamp when you do it. And then you take the dog like this, hold it, and when you do it in dark, it's good with a lamp, and then you see very easy where to cut. While you're cutting the dog's nail, you should try to make it as a cozy time. Pet the dog a little bit here between the legs, and yeah, make it cozy. Talk nice with the dog, kiss it, like this, because then the dog like it, and then it's much easier. Hey, yeah. And then the dogs are more relaxed while doing this. She didn't have super long nails, but because I'm living on the trail with my dog so many weeks per winter, I had to do this work on the trail. It's constantly cutting nails very often, because I'm not going home and spending a lot of time home. I'm here, and I had to do this job while I'm here, because that's how it is. One more foot. If the nails are black, it's much more difficult to cut them because you don't see where to cut. Aya had white nails, super easy to cut, and yeah. Oops. That was a tree.
Here we go.
So this is much food. Just for comparison. Kannst du ihm mal noch einen Teller geben, weil ich habe gerade den anderen Teller da.
Live videos.
Yeah.
From Lapland.
Yes.
The longer it is on the fire,
Yeah, this was
the worse it gets.
Yeah, this is what makes chili like really hot. You have to like when you're like.
And then there is one more thing we have to talk about, and that's a really serious issue, and that's inflammation in the lung, pneumonia or coughing. Okay, one dog work very hard, really hard during a long time, they maybe lose weight. You continue driving the dog, it gets super tired. This could happen during a long distance race, or it could be during extended time if the dog is out several weeks. It's usually dogs that are working very, very hard that this happens to. They push their immune system into the basement. Then they become very sensitive to infection. So if a dog starts coughing, take it serious. You need a thermometer, a special thermometer for the dog. And then you measure the temperature. You also measure the breathing rate. How many per second, minutes are they doing? Because then you can see if it changed over time. When we talk about pneumonia, there is another type of pneumonia they can also get. And you know, dogs snatching snow, they love snatching snow. Then they get too much water in the belly and maybe they throw up. This happens to a lot of dogs. Or actually certain kind of individuals are doing this. I have a couple of them. They throw up, and then you imagine that while they're throwing up and running, they suddenly inhalate the liquid into the lung. Then they get something that's called chemical pneumonia, and that's shit. That dog needs to evacuate super quickly. I lost one dog in 24 hours because of that. That was very, very hard. I have lost one dog in my whole life out on the trail, and that was because of that. Bruno. That was not fun at all. That was really a really bad day for me, and of course for Bruno. Yeah. Anyway, I don't want you to lose a dog like that. I don't want anyone to do that. While I'm talking with you guys, I'm still driving. It's not much wind, but there is a little wind here, and we are follow the trail. It's marked trail. It's really good visibility, as you see. You see several of the sticks in front of you. Sometimes you see one or two sticks. That's different situation. I think I should wait for my group here quite soon. Losing dogs is not okay. Losing guests, you had to live with it. I'm kidding, of course. So the symptoms of pneumonia or inflammation in the lungs is coughing and higher temperature, and sometimes also that they start breathing more rapidly. And of course, the whole dog is usually not looking okay. You must know your dogs, and if you know one dog and that's usually super intensive and energetic and working and happy, and suddenly that dog starts showing some signals, you must read them. That's your responsibility. And then you should start checking things. And that's actually all over. You know your dogs, you know how they are, you're checking them, you're reading them, because you have spent a lot of time with them, you have trained them by yourself, pick up the shit, you know how it should be, so you have that as a reference. Easy peasy. And it's back in town. Super funny. And we're turning up. Höger! Höger, Annie! Höger! Ja. Nisse! Lavan! Hey! We are a small kennel and we had to work with the dogs we have. We pick the dogs that we think need the rest most and send them home. So this week Fenja went home, for example, because we think that she started coughing a little bit, so we take her home and she had to go home rest a week. I also send Aya home because she is eating good, but she have lost a lot of weight. And we send Dallas home because he had an issue with the nail and the foot. And which more, we send Krille home because Krille is a little bit older, so it's good if he have a week off now and then. And then we send Inga home because Inga have had bad appetite. She's losing weight, but not so much, but it has been an issue the whole season on and off, so she need a week home and eating a little bit more. And Jesse goes home also because Jesse works 1 week, 2 weeks, and then he needs rest. So now we choose to send Jesse home now to rest him so he can come back next week. So that's how we choose which dog is going home and staying. So Stina just left with the 7 dogs that are going home. She have a 6-kilometer ride with the sled and then she load up everything on the car. I have new food for our group, and I start preparing for the next tour. So this was a short glimpse of how we're working with the dogs. This is Dolly. She's a little bit not super happy now because I sent her daughter home. She really loves Melly. And she worked with Melly most of the time, or with Krille, and both Melly and Krille went home. So Dolly will sleep in the room tonight with me and Annie in the bed. Dolly! Because she's the kind of dog that fall in love in one individual and she really want to be with that dog all the time. I want to say big thanks to Andrea, Sharem, Tim and Katarina who follow on this tour. It was super nice to meet you, and maybe I see you again, I hope so. And to all of you who follow the channel and looking at the video, I hope you enjoy the video and that you could get some useful information out of this. Big thanks for comments, thumbs up and all that things. I hope I see you next video. Ciao!